defense. If he can play good user defense, he's going to be able to shut down the Browns offense with their limited weapons. And the third key is always in Madden. Just don't turn the ball over.
Right, and you nailed the hammer on the head with Lamar going 1 touchdown for 5 interceptions as we have a nickel double A gap here. First down, Alex Collins is going to take the first run for 3 yards. Now, Baltimore does this really running back by committee thing, and it's probably a very an unexpected ragtag group of running backs. We got Alex Collins, Kenneth Dixon, the speedster from Georgia, Keith Marshall, as we saw returning the kick, and then the receiver turned running back, CJ Prosise. So they're all going to see snaps throughout the game.
Keith Marshall was an awesome pickup by him because that offers a speed element that you just cannot find anywhere in Madden. It's such a key commodity to be able to have.
Yeah, I think watching all the games, he does a good job at getting the guys he wants in the situations he wants. He isn't catching himself with Alex Collins trying to throw the football. And then he doesn't put himself in situations where he's trying to gain hard yards, as Myles Garrett is going to get a big sack. Not only that, we have an injury here for Baltimore. Siragusa, I imagine that's an offensive lineman, so we hope.
Yeah, and he only just put Siragusa into the starting lineup, so that's a pretty unfortunate turn of events there because he only just became a starter for him. He made it on his YouTube video. He put a big old deal on all the changes that he made to the offensive line, and that was one of the biggest ones.
Got you. So 3rd and 16 here. Let's see if he's going to attack the sticks here. And it looks like he's got a man open. High pass to Willie Snead. Is that a move you'd go at 3rd down? You going for the sticks at 3rd and 15 plus, or?
Oh, you have to. Yeah, I'm not playing. We don't play 4-down football here. So in this league, you've got to play like you would. And a lot of NFL teams, they might run it right there just to be safe. But this is still Madden either way. We're trying to play sim, but we're trying to play for real and trying to win anyway. So
I think
I'm going. And if you come out and you see the cover 2 and you've got the perfect route called up against it, you might as well go for it.
Exactly. Get that linebacker over top, and I imagine he may have had something underneath that the linebacker did drop, but he finds Snead open. We have a new set of downs as we approach the 50-yard line. I formation for the Ravens. He's letting the clock roll down. I think he understands that it's a time game.
It really is.
Fullback in the flat. That'll be another first down for Baltimore. As Joe Flacco starts to stay 2 for 2, it looks like Siragusa is going to be in here shortly. So the last matchup, and let's kind of peek through this here as I get to our Daddy Leagues page, was a pretty close game, I believe. Actually, I think I may have read it wrong. This might be the first matchup for them. Yes, I was incorrect. I was looking at the Steelers game. That's what I was watching earlier. So this is the first matchup of the season. So there is no precedent for how they're going to attack each other. Now, the Browns are coming off 2 pretty big victories. They won 24-3 versus the Jets, and then a big win last week against the winless Raiders, 48-10. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can kind of carry that offensive momentum when they do get the ball back. But first, they have to stop Joe Flacco, who's 2 for 2 as we go 4 verts. Looks like another sack.
Is that Ogunjobi?
Ogunjobi. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not a big fan of 4 verts out of under center.
Yeah, I'm not either, because usually, the tight end is probably going to be one of your main reads on that, and it's too slow of developing of a play. 4 verts, that's usually my sort of last resort, or I really need something. I need something to happen. I need to make something happen here, and I'm going to call it as a sort of Hail Mary type of play, and I want to be in the shotgun for sure.
Absolutely. We have here 2nd and 18, and a nice throw over the middle of the field to Michael Crabtree, and that's a good down. He had the post over top, and I think he made a smart decision. We call that there's a lot of different names for it, but essentially it's just get the yards back that you messed up on the second down, on the first down sack. Good patience. I think this is going to put him in a good position here. When do you think we see the first Lamar snap? Do you think he feels the pressure being on stream and keeps the tested vet, or do you think we see Lamar here soon?
That'll be interesting. I think we'll probably see him on the second drive. But if this drive continues on, if he converts here and moves it down the field, we might see him closer to the goal line and maybe a read option play.
Well, a run really gets the yards that he wants, but we do have a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be holding. That's going to make this longer.
Oh man,
16. That's a good run. It's a very smart play. A
smart
lot of
play.
times in Madden, these guys come out and nickel, come out and dime on those longer third downs, and you can catch them with the run. Smart play. Do you think he goes back to the run? Does he kind of play it safe? I mean, he
No,
is
he's
in
gonna
Justin
open it up
Tucker
here.
field goal range. Oh,
Got to open it up a little bit here. He was aggressive earlier on third down. I think he's not in field goal range quite yet, so you might as well go ahead and be aggressive here.
We see Procise in, so he might be going for a little running back.
Oh man, Procise went from Ed Reed's number to Ray Rice's number. I'm not sure if that's an improvement or not.
Well, he's going to go for the out route to John Brown deep down the field. It is going to be short, but it's going to make the field goal a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So
good play.
Yep, good hot route there
Good
against
safe
the
play.
high look. Now you run that against man, that might be a pick, but you recognize zone. I think you just didn't want to disrespect Ed Reed. I think that's what it came down to. Maybe he wasn't thinking about it. I mean,
I don't even think he realized it was just a signing, and they assigned a random number. It would be cool if they added a feature in where we could sort of retire numbers and make it so that you never had to worry about a random free agent picking up a number that you just didn't want, assigned on your team.
Right, don't want to disrespect nobody. So Baltimore makes it 3-0 as Cleveland comes out. Talked about Baltimore winning or how they're going to win the game. Let's go into Cleveland. I think you just have to make patient reads. One of the big things you mentioned earlier, CJ Mosley, this is a defense that controls the middle of the field, and I need to see patience for Baker Mayfield and the Browns user. And then also get the run game going, all right? Like I said, this is a top 10 passing offense, but this is a bottom half of the league rushing offense. And it's tough. I mean, against the 3-4 nonetheless, and the Baltimore 3-4, it's tough, but you got to keep them honest, especially with the user linebacker. So 1st and 10 in the I formation. Let's see if they try and get that run going with Duke Johnson. It looks like they'll get 2 yards.
Yeah, I mean, this offensive line is not nearly as good as the Ravens' offensive line, so it doesn't surprise me that they've struggled with the running game thus far.
Yeah, and I guess you'd have to see, but it all depends on how you put your running backs in good positions. I don't know how I feel about Duke Johnson being out there in a power run formation. I feel like that's more going to be Nick Chubb and Carlos Hyde. So we see a quick switch to zone here. See if he can catch these guys out of position as the play action comes from Baker. And he takes a pretty unnecessary hit on the rollout. Cover 2 invert. What are your thoughts? How do you attack cover 2 invert?
I mean, it's not the easiest play to read from the snap. It's disguised pretty well, I think, but it's a great play to run against. I feel like the cover 2 invert always gives up a big chunk of yards in the middle if you run it up the middle.
Showing blitz here on 3rd and 6 for Baker Mayfield. Let's see if he can read the defense he has in front of him. He has a man in the seam, and he throws the interception to Levine Sr. He had his he goes with the verticals, and he has his man the Y ball, which everybody seems to go to in the 4 verts, not the tight end seam, but the slot seam. I think he just kind of got caught looking at his man and looking at the user. Now he's going to put Baltimore in a situation to score. Going back to cover 2 invert, like I said earlier, I love that play in the red zone. If I do call it, it's going to be in the red zone because the inherent issue with it is the safety underneath. And if you saw what Baltimore did there, the natural, he user Weddle, and a lot of people will do that. They'll user that middle yellow zone with anticipation to play over the top, because that's really inherently where cover 2 invert gets beat, is right over the top of that safety down the middle of the field. So I feel like you have to kind of recognize it and then attack it. And then if you have a situation like that where somebody uses that safety, you just have to have a dump off ready. But nonetheless, turnover occurred. We're at 2nd and 7. What are you doing here? Are you going for the score? Are we just playing patient? Do you feel confident in the defense?
I mean, I'm an aggressive guy. You can tell by my offense. We are one of the higher scoring offenses, but our quarterbacks are usually not that highly rated as far as the QBR goes. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for being aggressive and trying to put it in the end zone every single drive. I'm not playing for field goals.
Flanker Jake here. He's going to go after John Brown, and he's going to get the first down. Good patient read there. Drag seemed to be the way to go this Madden. With the new, right? I think it comes as a direct result of the new player motion and how it affects user linebackers. you kind of have to really choose smart in this Madden. You can't really cover as much as the field with the user. So you give a good little high-low read there with the flanker drive. He takes the tight end. You just play underneath to the drag route across the middle of the field. As we go here inside the 10-yard line, 1st and 10, I formation. Looks like Keith Marshall's in the football game.
Love to see him play it safe.
Schobert breaks down and makes it a negative 3-yard gain there.
I feel like that's overthinking it a little bit with Keith Marshall in the backfield.
Yeah, I think you have to, if you're going to sub in like someone like that, I think you got to go toss or stretch. Dive isn't really going to work for you. Obviously, I mean, a good play call there by the Browns. You come out in the, it looks like the 4-4, go cover 3 match. You got 2 guys playing the outside, and that probably deterred what he wanted to do. I feel like that's just good anticipation for seeing who's out there. And that's the downside of running back by committee, right? Is if I see Keith Marshall or Procise in there, I can kind of game plan based on what I have out there. So here we go, 2nd and 13. This is dangerous here. You have the double A gap look, and he's going to read. Wow, what a play. User lurk. Is that Jamie Collins Sr.?
Yeah.
Excellent play by Cleveland. That's smart. Just smart. And that's the 2nd straight time he's made a really good play call, an adjustment. Keith Marshall's there, gives him some outside help with the cover 3, goes double A gap. But if you guys notice, he kind of usered and hopped off the line before the ball got snapped. He kind of knew and baited him there. So a good play there to get the football back after kind of putting themselves in a bad situation earlier. So on the 3-yard line, and look at this. How about come and get it, he says, running cover 0. There's not a man deep at all. Wow.
Wow.
Safety there by Baltimore, and they're going to get the football back.
Yeah, he's been putting a lot of development into Matthew Judon, so he's been coming off the edge quite a bit. And he's actually a great all-around linebacker. I mean, the guy's got great
he's got high zone. Yeah, very high zone. Just and really with the benefit. I mean, we've been having this argument before, me and some of my other league buddies, 3-4 versus 4-3, and I just feel like if you can get a guy like Judon, right?
Yeah,
4 is the way to go. You can really cover sideline to sideline with somebody like that. A big play there from him.
I'll tell you, the way to go really is to run both and jump into your formation subs and have enough of those sort of variety players all over the place to fill in and be able to bounce back and forth and really confuse the opposing offenses of what kind of defenses they're seeing from play to play.
Right, but I got an OCD issue, and it being out of order with the custom playbook really throw me off. As we go counter to Alex Collins, he's breaking free to the left side. That's a pretty solid gain of, looks like 6-7 yards. That'll be 6. So still, we're 3 drives in, or 2.5 per se. No Lamar Jackson, but it's only a 5-0 lead, and I think he's kind of doing some self-reflection with how he's been playing with Lamar and deciding that he needs to go with Joe, and so either it's sealed up or an injury occurs, especially with a guy like this. You don't want to have to throw under pressure with a guy like Myles Garrett running you down. So 2nd and 4 here as we go 3 wide receiver, but under center. Let's see what Baltimore has for us. Nice under row check down here. Good tackle. Cover 1 versus 4 verse. You just feel like somebody has to win there.
Yeah.
Did you see that actually, matchups? Is Ward playing on Brown and kind of neutralizing the speed game?
Must be. But I actually will sometimes call that 4 verts with the intention of the running back being my first read. Yeah. Just let's clear it out. Let's get some easy, patient yards and make it a easier, manageable 3rd down.
Nice patient throw to CJ Procise, and that's the 2nd 3rd down in a row that Cleveland's gone with that double A gap, and they're mixing it up. They're kind of throwing a lot of different blitz packages, but the problem is right there, receiving running back. So a patient read, couldn't get to the flat quick enough. He did use the corner route, but he didn't fall for the bait this time. So let's see if Cleveland adjusts when we get down to another 3rd and long scenario. I mean, it's tough. This is a very good Baltimore offensive line. You got Stanley Brown. Obviously, Yonda's out there. I don't think Brown's out there. Brown may be hurt.
Yeah, he moved Yonda from right guard to right tackle.
Interesting.
That's an interesting move, yeah. That was a recommendation from some viewers on YouTube, and that's what opened up for Siragusa to take that left guard spot. So
I
it's
see.
interesting that he hasn't actually made any kind of an adjustment to go back to the old offensive line lineup without Siragusa to maintain some consistency and some familiarity with the guys. But he's sticking with Yonda out at right tackle, so we'll see how that goes for the rest of the game up against Myles Garrett.
Right.
Actually, it looks like
single back.
Got Garrett up against Ronnie Stanley.
The one high look. Browns is really loving this cover 3. He's going to use her underneath. See if there's patience to hit square, and he will.
Yep.
Good patience there. And that just, it really comes down to if you're only going to bring 4, if you're not getting pressure. And a pretty unconventional play call there. Not very common that I see that play specifically get run against me.
Like slice you cross. You don't see that often?
Not on Xbox. The Xbox guys are.
I don't think I've ever called that slot route. I just don't even know what to expect from that, something like that.
What I do like that against is guys that are really good user linebackers, because I mean, I think half of the game of being a good user linebacker is recognizing the formation and the plays that people run out of it, like this. And then 2, reading 1 or 2 guys' key routes. As Alex Collins is going to get this counter down to, or is it Wham? I think it was Wham down to the 3-yard line. Baltimore looks to go up 12-0 here to start the game out. But yeah, part of the issue, or not issue, but process with user linebackering is you see that tight end go up the seam in that little cut for 4 verts, you know that they're going to want Y or whatever. So being able to recognize those routes. But when you throw one like that X slice play that we saw, as Lamar's going to come in for his first snap, let's see if they go read option. They don't. Collins is going to get ball stuff on the 1. Almost expecting him to keep it just because finally we got Lamar in the game, and sometimes you get antsy. So we're going to go goal line here on the 1-yard line. Let's see if Cleveland Browns can get a stand. I'm really relying on guys like Myles Garrett here. But yeah, that X slice is really going to mess up users because they haven't seen it before. So I appreciate the play call there going in the playbook. We got fullback dive stuffed again, but they got to do it 2 more times. Do you have any go-tos on the goal line, or you just pray somebody sheds?
I'm a huge fan of the slants on goal line. On first down, though, because a lot of times people are expecting the run game from the slants, and they're blitzing everybody, trying to stop the runs, trying to sell out, and you usually pick or choose whichever receiver you want to pass it to.
I'm glad you said that. So my thing is, I don't have any ability to play defensive lineman as we go fullback dive again. Kenneth Dixon at fullback. So we see the running back in at fullback there. Interesting. Is that a sub package, or is that a do you think he just came in for fatigue? Don't imagine a fullback would be too fatigued.
Yeah, I think that's more of a result of the outside running game being really nerfed this year.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just a combination of folks not really adjusting quite yet to the new running system, because there are new running mechanics, and then 2, pursuit is just absolutely bonkers for some of these linebackers, and they really get to the edge really quickly. But yeah, anyways, I don't have a say in who sheds what, in my opinion. So one of the big things I do is I use a cornerback and I play the slant specifically. And every once in a while, you'll catch somebody trying to get fancy and throw that slant like you would. So just keep that in mind whenever we finally play. As we go first down, as the Browns try and come out and get some points on the board with a slant to Jarvis Landry.
I think the Browns are just trying to find some sort of offense right now.
Right, it's tough. It's tough to come out and just play a ton of defense. I mean, pretty much that entire quarter was just defense. You got to come out. I think you got to put a good drive, get some points, even if it's just 3. A 12-point lead isn't the worst thing. Let's just go get some points against this 4-4 look that we're getting here from Baltimore. And we have Weddle being used at high. Do you think this is the invert again? Did it last time. I can't remember what play call he called, even though we can see what he's running. Baker thinks he sees something.
Or he's just calling a bunch of drag routes. Nope.
It could be. It looked like he had a stick, and it is the 2 invert, and it is. He had an option. He came up and played the slant first, so he had the tight end. I think he just hesitated and got through quick. So we're going to go 3rd and 7 here for Baker and the boys.
Might have to incorporate that invert a little bit more in my own defensive play calling. Seems to be working for him.
It's pretty nice.
I've avoided it because the past few years, like I said, it's always been chewed up in the running game.
Got the post, but he threw it late, and that is going to be a pick to Tony Jefferson. He also had a wheel route down the sideline for the running back. Pretty open.
Yeah.
And what I want to note here is what he did. So obviously the play art doesn't tell the full story. We come out in the 2A gap, and he takes that yellow zone linebacker, and he moved him to a purple to the running back side of the field, specifically to play that running back's swing or wheel route. And then he took the guy, the linebacker that was playing the running back in coverage, and then guards the middle of the field. So just kind of swapping responsibilities and having a good concept, understanding of where the running back could go. He sends the purple zone out there to play not only the corner, but to also play the running back swing, and then he ends up using it in the play. So, or locking down that route, so where they had to force the deep ball. So another counter gets us here to 1st and 10 for Baltimore as they look to kind of take control of this game and put it away early. Even though there's a lot of time, do you kind of feel like you can really put it away early? Or is it?
It's because the quarters are so long. It really is like playing 2 games. You might get blown out in the first quarter, but whatever damage they did in the first quarter, you can definitely do the same damage in the second. So you never want to give up on a game before halftime. That's for sure.
Right. Lamar is back in for his second snap of the game. He's going to go play pass here. Patience, and he might find his man. We're going to see a throw. Oh, and it is intercepted. This is the rookie. Denzel Ward jumps up, snags a football, and the Cleveland Browns are back in it. And that's you mentioned that earlier, just getting a little overzealous. And if you watch the last game, he missed a really wide open throw. This same scenario, he decided to run with Lamar instead of going for that kind of comeback corner route. Actually, it wasn't a comeback. It was just the route was over. This week he tries to go after it and he gets picked off. So he was burned twice on that play. Now we have Cleveland with the ball back. That last week's game, I believe, was against Pittsburgh. Baker's going to roll out left, and he is going to get hit stick, fumbled, and we're right back with Baltimore football right outside the red zone. It's getting ugly, man.
It is. You're going to want to play a lot more conservative when you've got a young rookie quarterback like that. Keep the offense simple. That's a pretty complex play that, if your first read's not there, you're going to end up wanting to take off like that, and you're more likely to fumble like that in the circumstances.
I'm not entirely sure that we're making reads at this point. I feel like nerves might be settling in, and he's just moving out of the pocket. So -4 yards of offense for Cleveland. As we get
it's got to be hard when you're playing an ex-pro and you're playing one of the more elite players in the division. Like I said, though, there's plenty of time, and he's just needs to settle down and make his reads and maybe simplify the offense a little bit for himself so that he's not expecting a rookie quarterback to come out and make these elaborate throws or run the ball. Because while Baker Mayfield's got great scrambling stats, he's not a scrambling quarterback. He's just a mobile quarterback, and he's actually got great passing stats for a rookie quarterback. So just settle down, stay in the pocket, make your reads, and take what's open. Don't try to force it.
Right. And not only that, you're not going to be able to scramble the football if there's no downfield threat. They're going to keep 4 under linebackers like we have seen. You're not really going to be able to run with the football. So we have a run here by Keith Marshall. It's going to get stuffed up here. We're going to be 2nd down and about 11 on the 16-yard line. And when was the last time we saw Cleveland run the football?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That's a big thing with him coming in. He's got a couple turnovers, a couple interceptions, fumble there. Let's run the football. Okay. He's obviously ready for the pass. Like I said earlier, even if you don't have a lot of success, at least he has to play the run. And he's going to make a great read to Max Williams with the angle underneath, and he audibles the out route to a seam route. He finds Max Williams. We're up 19-0 pending the field goal kick.
Yeah, Max Williams is a solid, 3rd or 4th tight end for him? I mean, he kind of fell into the starter position because of injuries.
Do you think that he's hurting himself with such rotational positions? I mean, he's rotating quarterbacks, not really playing Lamar full time. I'm sure and he's actually, from what I've seen, not deving Lamar. Um, I think he's deving everybody on the defense. Mosley, Pierce, he might be deving Lamar, but I feel like I saw somebody else getting devved. It might have been Marlon Humphrey.
I think that he's got long-term plans for Lamar as far as this season. And with the injuries the way that they are right now, I think that that's probably factoring into the part-time play. But I do think that he'd probably get more production out of Lamar Jackson if he was his full-time quarterback, because he wouldn't be, it wouldn't be this, oh, Lamar's on the field, like, let me make sure I make a big play here, or let me make sure I don't screw this up. And then, you start getting in your head too much and you're not playing the game the way it needs to be played, and you're forcing it and stuff like that. And then that leads to more interceptions. And Lamar's actually not off to a great start.
Looks like we have some Madden glitchery going on here
wow.
on Vince's defensive line, and he's going to take a timeout. If you've watched any of SGO's videos, you notice there's just a lot of this general, I don't want to use the term I want to say, but glitchiness occurring. Particularly the one where you're about to throw the football, somebody hits you and it goes backwards about 20 yards and fumbles. So I think with a 19-0 lead, it's worth wasting a timeout here. Come on, kind of reset the defense. After a completion, Baker Mayfield looks to attack the Ravens defense on 2nd and 5. See if he can make a read here. Middle of the field might be open, but he might be jumping that with Judon. And this is a good time to dump the football off. Good play.
It was a good play. He had me worried there for a minute because it looks like more of the same of what we've seen so far, where he's thrown 2 interceptions by trying to just do a little too much.
Right. And one of the big things that Natural's doing is he's keeping the defense as conservative as possible. So what you see a lot of guys do with that cover 2 is drop that middle linebacker into a deep middle to play against the post, which naturally kind of kills this coverage. And then he drops Judon back and plays the middle of the field. Not really too concerned about getting pressure on the quarterback because of the big lead. Just stop the big plays. And a run there. Speaking of big plays, Duke Johnson with his 2nd carry of the game. But unfortunately, we see an injury to Josh Gordon on a block, an off-ball injury. Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Duke Johnson's his feature back. I haven't had a chance to catch too many Browns games this season, but I would definitely be trying to develop Nick Chubb as a rookie, try to make sure that he wins sort of best offensive rookie of the year, stuff like that.
Blitz here comes in and is going to lock down Matt Judon, having himself a game with his 2nd sack of the game. I think it might just be Brown's not paying attention to his depth chart. Every time he's running a lot of shotgun, which means a lot of Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
So now we're in a power formation and we see Hyde come in the game. So we know Hyde's the power back. Maybe Duke is just a three receiver back for the game. 2nd and 15. Baker's got time. He's got a deep route, not going to go after it. And a little dump off. Now what you want to see is rolling out to the left hash when there's only one route to that side. You would like to see him go towards that levels, but I just feel like he's just getting so wrapped up in either seeing if the deep pass develops that he kind of ignored the whole concept of what that route's about. So 3rd and 12. Let's see if Baltimore plans to bring the heat. They're dropping everybody down. They're not scared of over the top. And we see a delay of game. Now, I wonder if that might have been just a typical Madden glitch where it doesn't let you snap. But he had a good play, or a good defense to go against, as we saw as he switched to cover 2 and then moved one of the blue zones to another yellow. So there was no over-the-top help off the left sideline. So I think we got some luck out play for Baltimore as we go 3rd and 17. No blitz, but they're just going to run man, and he's going to use it in the middle of the field. And a huge catch by Njoku is going to put the Browns right outside of the 30-yard line. He's going to go hurry up. And what do you think? What do you think he sees? You think he sees a matchup advantage, or is he just kind of?
I think it's just trying to ride that momentum when you haven't had very much offense going on, and you're just looking for something to work, and something finally does. You're just like, you know what? Whatever personnel you've got, I finally got a play to work here, so I'm going to keep that personnel on the field.
Right, and he's going to roll out. And he's going to throw a touchdown on the rollouts. to Antonio Callaway on the run. I thought he was going to run. He goes verticals. We were questioning whether or not hurry up was the right decision.
That was a ballsy throw, but it
room.
worked out for him.
I think he had a lot of room. I think he could have thrown it a little earlier against what looked like cover 2, right? But it paid off. Callaway made the big catch, the promising rookie from Florida. And now we're on a 19-7 ball game. So come out here, force a turnover, and we could be going into half 14-19, 10-19, a whole different situation here. So big play. And that's what you're talking about with Baker, right? He's got really impressive throwing stats for a rookie. So very interesting play. And that's part of that top 5 passing offense that we're seeing that's able to put up 48 points against the Raiders last week. Now, what you see here is the real difference between a 4-0 user and a 2-2 user is
changing the audibles.
The details.
Yeah. That's something I definitely need to incorporate more into my game. Is I usually I feel like I know the audibles, the stock audibles. So I just sort of, when I call a play, I know what I've got is the stock audibles, but I definitely need to take advantage of that more often.
Yeah, you really, I don't do it too much. I do it situationally, just having a favorite play against cover 2 out of a formation and your favorite play against cover 3 or man really makes a difference. Between, taking a bad play and just trying to audible 1 or 2 routes and then paying attention to that. If you have a routine play, especially on 3rd down, that's when I think you really need to have your audible set. And it goes the extra mile. It just makes you that much better. So 2nd and 8 after Christian Kirksey makes a nice open field tackle. We're going to see draw here by Alex Collins, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. This is exactly what Cleveland needs, man. So 3rd and 11, are you bringing pressure or are you forcing Flacco to make a throw in a tight window?
It all depends on, have you been getting pressure? Have you been having success with those blitzes? If so, keep it coming until it doesn't work anymore. It's all about what Madden's giving you that game.
Right. One of the things we've seen throughout the game is this double A gap look. They don't go at it this time. Look like they might be in big nickel here. So let's see how they plan to do it. It looks like, man, I don't know. He had the run dialed up. Now it looks like he might go on verts. We might even see a timeout here as the clock goes down. Nope, he's going to take the snap. He has what he wants. Patient throw, and it is intercepted. And this one might be returned for 6. I think you have to take the timeout there. The clock's running down. You're in slant. I think, I think that's, I think he was rushing. I think he's got a little bit cocky, and now we have the Browns outside the red zone.
It's hard once you get a lead. You want to just continue to pile it on, and it's hard to find that balance between playing conservative and intelligently. And I think he just made a poor decision right there.
He's got a man over the top in the end zone. He misses him. He's going to roll. He's still going to make a completion there, but we talked about cover 2 and for getting beat over the top. He had the post. It was there. He just needed to wait for it to clear Eric Weddle. It may have been Tony Jefferson that play. That's okay. He still made a nice read. We were in the red zone, 9-yard line, 1st and goal. I'm just saying right now, gentlemen, y'all don't want me in this PlayStation League. I'm coming for you. Let me know when the Eagles are.
Hey, go ahead and get yourself a PlayStation. We'll hold a spot for you.
All right. Set the GoFundMe up.
I mean, you're the big engineer. You should be able to afford that. Get the U.S. government to pay for it. It'll be all right.
I'll try. We go 2nd and goal as Baker makes an adjustment at the line of scrimmage here. We are in a strong set. And he is going to do what I said Ravens should have done, and that's take a timeout. He didn't like the look. All right, he's got this 3-4 bear thing going on. It's a tough formation to read because of how good guys like we talked about Judon earlier are at getting not only back in coverage, but to the quarterback. So I think, as we can see here, he's coming out 4 wide receivers, trying to spread this out. He's trying to stop him from running this super jam-packed box offense, and he's trying to find some open space amongst his zones by spreading them out. So good adjustment here by the Browns. Let's see if he can make the read. We do have the screen here, but Madden can't seem to get screen animations correct.
Nope.
I don't hate that call. If it should have worked
I've seen a lot of success with the play action jailbreak screen, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Or maybe it's just the defenses I'm calling against them.
Or maybe you're bad at defense. One of the two.
Probably both. All the above.
3rd and goal here on the 14. I don't think you force it here, right? 9-point game. He might let this one run to the 2-minute warning, which he will. So, are you going end zone here against a team that's already picked you off twice?
I might go something short underneath, try to, get it to develop and break a tackle or so to keep the clock running. Don't give him enough time to run that 2-minute drill.
Right, he is going dime here. He's got Desmond Southward in as his user. That's a very fast defensive back. It means he's going to cover a lot of ground in the middle. I'm going to see the run with Baker. He's going to get up to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's about exactly what I expected. If not in a rush form, in a pass form, just keep that clock moving, make him waste a timeout, and make this a 9-point game.
I think you got to take note a little bit also, and I think of what's being run here. We've seen, a lot of the trademark third down defenses. Cleveland's going the double A gap. Baltimore is either bringing pressure, and if he's not bringing pressure, he's in that man running that too deep, giving him plenty of space to use in the middle of the field. So I wonder how much these guys are taking note of. I know natural is, but I wonder if the Browns is taking note of how the defense is being run so you can attack it later. So 2-minute drill here for the Ravens. 9-point lead. And I believe the Cleveland Browns are going to get this ball back at half, if I'm not mistaken. And this ball is going to be user picked, lurked by the Cleveland Browns. We're right outside of the red zone and getting Christian Kirksey with the big tackle in the last drive. This one, he picks it off in the cover 2. What's going on? What is going on?
The natural is getting sloppy right now. I mean, he's not making good reads. He's throwing off his back foot. He is asking for the Browns to be back in this game right now. I mean, we've had 7 turnovers in the first half. That's unacceptable by both squads, really.
Right, and a lot of this could be, I don't even know what to say. Just it doesn't have to happen here, right? It's a lot of sloppy throws.
Yeah.
Baker's going to take off up the middle of the field. He's going to slide down, 9-yard gain, get him on the 15-yard line.
You just can't force it. I mean, Madden will punish you if you force it. There is more than likely going to be an open read on every play, and Madden wants you to find that open read. And if you force it, you're going to get punished for it. And I've seen a lot of defensive backs sort of jumping a route because they're throwing it to a ball that's not technically open.
Right. I want to point out this formation that the Ravens are running is a 3-4 over Ed. And what it is it's essentially 3-4 that lines up looking like 4-3. Yep. It's a really solid formation to have if you're a custom playbook kind of guy. Because if people aren't really paying attention to jersey numbers and jersey names, you could really kind of cause some issues in terms of, I have, too deep. A lot of people, they see too deep 4-3, they think they could run, but just having an extra kind of outside linebacker edge player for that block shedding can really cause some issues. As we saw there, they try to run and they can't get anything on 2nd and 2. So now we're at 3rd and 2. And we're going to see a little fade thrown. It's going to be incomplete, but that's okay. We'll see.
Nice real player motion there with the physics on the ball flying into the air. That's one of the things they really need to fix in this game.
Right. So we're going to see a field goal attempt here. See if we can make this a 6-point game. And it will be. Huge point swing. I mean, we went from 19-0, now 13 unanswered from the Browns. Not only that, they have all the momentum on the defensive side of the football.
That's what turnovers will do for you, man. If you just don't turn the ball over, you're more than likely going to win this game. And you're better off punting than you are throwing a weak interception on 3rd and long. I mean, just play smart, play safe, and Madden will bless you.
Right. If I'm SGO here, I'm thinking, let's run this football. If I get a big gain, maybe consider it. There's no timeout, so it's not like Cleveland can stop the football. But the last thing you want to do is come out here, throw another interception this late to the half. He's going to go underneath the pro size with a nice little spin move. And it looks like he is going to make an attempt here for the 2-minute drive.
And I think that you have to, but you've definitely got to play smart. And like you said, a
Don't
turnover
go
rate
for
here.
it. He goes after the post, and he's going to miss it. It's just predictable, and the Browns is doing a really good job at seeing what's coming.
I mean, technically that route should beat that coverage, but it's not going to always do that. Willie Snead's probably not the best cover 2 beater in the slot.
He's got 95 acceleration, but the 89 speed is not going to do it for me. So he is going to find him this time over the middle of the field. The patience on the dig. That's the read we need from him. All right. He sends the clear out route across the field. Yep. Gets the user out of the way and makes a late.
These are all really good route runners. I mean, John Brown's obviously the speed guy, but Snead and Crabtree are both good route runners. So
and now we have a third user lurk. Wow. Come on, SGO. You're better than 4 verts throwing at the tight end. And add insult and injury, Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah, he deserved that injury right there. That was a pretty ugly play.
Predictability, man.
Choke. He knows he's under the lights right now. He knows he's being commentated. He's being watched. He's got people watching him on Twitch. He's got 4 viewers on Twitch. He's choking under the lights.
Our route there is going to be broken up by Jimmy Smith. Now it can be, and I do see guys do this in key situations when they know that folks are going to be watching the game. They just don't throw everything at it. I'm 4-0. I feel pretty confident. Maybe I don't throw in all of my routine 3rd down throws and throw that on the big film. That might be a factor. Baker's going to roll out. He's going to find his man down the left sideline to the 34-yard line. That's a big play. Now, we've seen Baker roll out left a couple times and make pretty bad decisions. This time, makes a good read and a good throw.
Yeah, I think the difference is he's patient and keeps his eyes downfield right there.
Got you. Don't know what the challenge was for, but
maybe to make sure that he was in bounds. Looked like it was pretty clean to me.
Right. And I think it took a Baltimore timeout because of it. No, never mind. That was just the injury report risk from Miller. Ignore what I said. I think I have one of those a broadcast. Ignore what I said. Remember the Clay Matthews and Khalil Mack thing?
A mulligan.
Right. All right, 30 seconds left here. We got a man down the left sideline, but he's going to go down the right sideline, and he's just going to overthrow his receiver. That's Antonio Callaway against Marlon Humphrey. Now, if you've noticed, cover 4 seems to have an issue this Madden. I think it man matches somewhere within the route, and it ends up not covering deep like it should, like quarters coverage should. And it seems to get really exposed. So I like the read there by Baker. Just can't get the throw on target. Don't go after the post. Don't do it. He's going to roll left, make a smart decision. You got the momentum. Don't force it. You've run that deep attack quite a couple times. He knows what's coming. Good play there. So what are you dialing up? 3rd and 10 on the 34 going into half. Are you playing safe here? Playing from behind?
I think you have to. Madden really blesses you when you score right before half. Do not make a mistake here. And yeah, I would. I don't know if I'd go quite this early, but I might try one more time.
Well, he's got no timeouts, and he's been sacked a couple times.
18 seconds is enough time to I guess you can't really spike it. So yeah, I guess this is a smart play here.
Right, and it's just another 13 seconds for SGO to throw a user pick.
That's sadly true.
You're gonna have to hold it solo here for a second. All this water I use for the broadcast is running through me, so I will be right back.
All right, on 1st down, we're gonna have the Falcons, the Ravens come out, and they're gonna try to throw it deep, and they're gonna throw a complete pass.
Well, if my wife's face was any indication, this is the nerdiest thing I've ever.
Yeah, no, this is pretty bad. My buddy and I are over here having a good laugh at the fact that we're commentating a fake video game.
It's all good. I consider a practice for the real thing when I get the call from ESPN or NBC. So
yeah, I heard Tony Romo was looking for a partner. So
just getting some film, getting some film down for when they finally realize that Jason Witten doesn't know how to speak in complete sentences. So they need a guy. So we are done with the first half. We've got a 3-point game. It shouldn't be this close. It really shouldn't be.
I agree. It's been kind of a sloppy game. Maybe SGO is trying to make it so that it's an entertaining one rather than sort of stepping on the throat and putting this one away in the first half.
No way he plays with the Madden gods like this. No way. So bringing the box in, loaded here. He's trusting Eric Weddle to recover. He's got a man deep on Weddle. Let's see if he goes after it. He's going to find a check down route to Njoku, who's going to break a tackle. He gets to the 46-yard line. It's a lot of movement by Baker Mayfield.
A nice broken tackle for sure.
Now, are there any rules on QB mobility? JT's going to kill me for asking. Are there any rules after I took a freaking written test, apparently? But yeah. what are the league rules?
He'll probably kill me too because I'm not super rehearsed in them. I actually had to ask him earlier if Playmaker was even legal. But I think the way that I always approach these leagues is that, is it realistic? Are you abusing something? If you answer correctly to both of those questions, you're usually probably good. So far, I haven't seen anything from either team that would make me feel like they're playing outside of the sort of expectations of these leagues. Yeah, the sim expectations. Right.
Now, it's easy from us from the sideline to say, oh, he's rolling out a ton with Baker. But, I mean, you go down 19-0 after getting that much pressure on you. And I'm not surprised that he's kind of antsy to get out of the pocket with a more mobile quarterback who can't throw on the run. So I'll give him benefit.
If you don't want a quarterback to scramble or move around a lot in the pocket, then don't blitz so much.
Right, for sure. Third down here is we got the double A gap look. He's got a man. Oh, and he's going to, looks like he may have gotten hit as he released off of the nickel blitz. So it is going to be 4th and 4. Good drive there by the natural on defense to go get the football back. Last thing he needs to do is come out here, lose the lead, and be playing from behind, because if it's anything like playing with the lead, it's not going to be pretty here. Nice punt here from Cleveland. It's going to backpedal, and it's going to put Baltimore on their own 7.
Now, the Ravens need to come out and have a really solid drive, and whatever they do, just don't turn the ball over at this point. I know the first drive of the third quarter is crucial for the Madden gods. You've really got to make sure that you come out and just play smart, and if they can get a touchdown, obviously that'd be great, but you'd rather punt the ball here than turn it over.
Absolutely. Most of these defenses really enjoy loading the box up. I think they got a lot of talent at the corner position. They kind of trust themselves in man, and we see a toss here to Kenneth Dixon, who's going to break down with a spin move to the 29-yard line.
That was an impressive play. If I saw the box that filled up, I definitely would be audibling out of that call. But that was a good execution of a toss play, which I feel like have not had a lot of success this year.
Which is interesting because earlier he had the toss lined up with Keith Marshall, the speedier back, audibled out of that to the dive against a similar cover 3 look. This time he has Kenneth Dixon, more of an all-around back, decides to stay with it, and it pays off. So I can't tell you what toss doesn't work against, but I know what it does work against. It's double A gap, which the Browns are out in this formation. So let's see where he goes here. Alex Collins is the running back. Looks like they're going to continue to enforce their will, but tackle there. Emmanuel Ogbah. 2nd and 11 for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, personally, I've never been a fan of sort of rotating my running backs like that. I like to sort of find one guy that I know everything that he can do, but it is definitely a popular approach to do the sort of multiple running back approach here.
Right, and I don't need to plug in my league, but I'll plug in what I do. I have Todd Gurley box, so I think that's Lamar coming in for a play. Nope, that was Flacco. Sorry. But anyways, I got Todd, so obviously, you kind of got to do it all guy. But I'll always go grab a guy similar to how he's done with Procise. Theo Riddick, being a Lions fan in real life, seems to be my main target. A guy I can go out and grab for cheap in a trade and have a pretty solid. I think he's got 82 short route. So somebody I can trust if I motion him out of the backfield and get him lined up against a linebacker. So 3rd and 6 here for the Ravens. They go tight slots here. See how he attacks this. And a huge catch by Max Williams. So Max Williams seems to be his trusted guy, despite the Ravens drafting not one, but 2 tight ends. Is this an injury thing? Is that why Max Williams was seeing reps?
Yeah, I mean, he lost both his tight ends, I think, pretty early. It's also just very easy to sort of work the middle of the field with the tight end. They seem to be the easier routes to read, watch develop. I think that when in real life they call a tight end a quarterback's best friend, and I think that is definitely the case in Madden also.
Gotcha. Especially with how useful the high pass mechanic is, as we're going to see Keith Marshall make a nice move off of the halfback stretch. It looks like he had it the sideline, but one too many left stick presses. Keeps the run to only 6 yards. So the power runs worked well. He had the toss earlier out I for him. We come here for the stretch. We gained 6. So I think he's got that. I think he's seen the same thing we're seeing here, and it looks like he's going to line right back up in it. Maybe catch him in play action, or maybe just keep enforcing will. Try to be patient there, but I think he rolled and backed up a little bit too far, and some contain got him. So maybe 3rd and 4 for the Baltimore Ravens here.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen a lot of play action from the Ravens, but as much as they've been running it, I think they want to mix that in a little bit more.
Yeah, it just doesn't work like it does in real life here. So patent his third and 4 double A gap defense here. Let's see if he can bait the seam like he did last time. Heshio making decisions. Last time he waited. Oh, and that's going to be a sack fumble. They're going to fall on it, but it is going to be 4th down. The pressure came in. And that's the benefit of this kind of formation is those weird blitzes. And I think the Browns is doing a good job at covering now. What we did see and what it looks like he wanted to go to is he audibled that seam up the field, the circle route. I'm sorry, I'm an Xbox guy. To kind of clear out the linebacker that was fully seen. It looks like he audibled a quick in right underneath it, trying to hit that in route. He might have been better off with the drag. I think that extra second to get vertical and make a 90% or 90-degree angle cut is what cost him there with the sack fumble. But a good punt puts them on the 1-yard line here against this insane loaded box. Baltimore's touting. You go deep here. Do you test it? Do you have a speed advantage? Looks like he does, but he goes after the wrong guy. Oh, he had the slot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Either goal line, whether you're going out or in, I like to run those slant passes for sure.
Really get the ball out quick. If you notice, he actually had the blitz. The guy he was using had a clear lane to the quarterback, but he backed up to play coverage. He's going to slide them in the box again. Looks like we're going another man blitz here for the Ravens. 2nd and 10 here. Let's see what he audibles. Baker thinks he sees it. Let's see who wins this test match here. Throw was a little behind. I think he made the right read there, but just a little behind.
But those are pretty deep routes for 2nd and 10 on the 1-yard line. I don't know if I'm up for those.
Yeah, it's a tough route. It is a weird one, especially with the 2-back. When you see that everybody loaded, I like to kind of either motion the tight end or motion the running back out. But they were both pass protecting, so maybe he needed the extra help against the blitz here. So double A gap look here for the Ravens as he mirrors the Browns defense. It must be an AFC North thing. 3rd and 10, Baker's in his own end zone. He's going to throw an interception to Eric Weddle. Got to be patient. Just take what they get you running 4 verts out of a 2 tight end set. I just think that you don't even have the man advantage within your just who you have going out to catch the football. One less receiver, you're passing in the zone coverage, you're backed up, so there's that extra pressure to get the ball off early. I don't think that was a good look for Baltimore, who's trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were saying earlier. You just gotta play safe and play smart. Forcing the ball here is now you put them in great position to make this game a 2-possession game, and you're putting a lot of pressure on your rookie quarterback here to bring you back into it. Yeah, bro.
Just looking at the chat, he said he's going to be playing the CBS theme and then right into the commentary. I didn't even notice that, so I hope I didn't talk over your CBS theme here. Chat update, even the Browns, self-aware, said, I've been rolling out too much, my bad. So no apologies till after the game here. But 3rd and 7 for the Ravens. Looks like another cover 2 look. He attacked it through the seam last time to Willie Snead. Let's see what he has this time. And he's going to find a high pass, but I think he's going to be illegal touching for Maxwell. And that's going to be 4th and 7.
Wow.
Ravens
see that call very often.
Here. Yeah, he did a good job of getting deep to play with Williams, and just the Madden animation, he ran out of the back instead of just stopping. So +1 for the Madden gods there, as Justin Tucker has to resort to the field goal. 22-16 gives us an 8-point lead. A little bit safer than the 3-point lead, right? Or
yeah, I mean,
6-point lead. I can't match.
Browns looked out there by not giving up a touchdown. They leave this, and now it's still a 1-possession game for them.
Right. Good read. The user of the Browns, user linebackers kind of impressed me. It hasn't been top notch. He's kind of been burnt by the fact that he's not getting the best pass rush, but he's done a really good job, especially on some key downs, especially late in the first half. So we're going to see screen here. It's a Corey Coleman. That one is going to, it might not be Corey Coleman. It might have been started after that. Yep, it was Corey Coleman. Still a Brown in this franchise. Good recovery tackle there by the Naturals. We got 2nd and 12. Oh, I got work in the morning. You guys better make this one good. Baker's going to be sacked here. He had a clean pocket, but you got to see better movement. Roll away from the fire blitz there. 3rd and 18. He threw a pick last time in this situation. Do you think he's learned from his mistakes? Or are we going deep again? Are we forverting it up again?
We're definitely going deep here.
Oh, we're definitely. We got the trips last time we had this. We had the touchdown pass on the verticals. Let's see if he goes after it again.
Yeah, it looks like
he will. Rolls out left. Judon is going to get the sack. Predictability, guys. Predictability.
Judon has done really, really well.
Player of the game, if the Baltimore Ravens end up coming through. He's done a good job despite the defense or the offense not really being able to put up much points after starting the game 19-0. Keith Marshall gets this one across the 50-yard line to the 49 on the punt return. But notice again, the Ravens is making smart decisions. He's popping in on some of these key downs, and he's changing that pass rush to aggressive. And you're just winning the mental game, right? 3rd down, 3rd and 18. What does it hurt the Browns to hit that, R1? I think it would be for you guys, right? And if they jump off sides, what's the difference between 3rd and 22 versus 3rd and 18? But if you can catch them, as we see Lamar Jackson coming in for his 3rd or 4th snap of the game. It's just the mental game. Collins with the nice spin. We might have a hold here, though. Taking this one back. It will be on the left tackle, Ronnie Stanley.
That's all right. I still like to see the Ravens getting back to the running game,
All right, 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Lamar stays in the game. Check down here to, looks like the best target so far of the night, Max Williams. total judgment coming from my wife right now.
And I don't blame her one bit.
Leave me alone. It's for all my fans, all my subs.
It's for all 4 people watching this on the stream.
I think he's going to stream it live after. As long as we're in the game highlights, I'm cool with it. Live commentary. Lamar Jackson with his first run. Look at 11. We got.
And like I said, I think that he's more worried about injury maybe with him long term. But I would be doing this all day with him. Once I got a lead with the Ravens, I would definitely be using Lamar Jackson, coming out, running short underneath passes, and scrambling quite a bit with Lamar Jackson, right, Meow?
Are we doing a meow counter? Is that what you guys are doing? 3rd and 3. Lamar's out of the game. Goes with the trusted veteran. See how he attacks this. He had the user, jumped away from it. And it's going to be a first down on the 10-yard line. He played the right play. I think he just got impatient. You know, it's kind of tough. You find yourself deep playing the deep routes and you just start getting insecure. You know, maybe there's something underneath it. He had dialed up right underneath your user. So smart play there. We have the screen for CJ Procise. That's going to be locked up. This is a huge possession for Baltimore. I really need them to walk away with points here, even if it's just 3 as we approach the 4th quarter here. Got to score. There's a big read there on, I want to say 3rd down, but that's going to take us through the 4th quarter.
Yeah, this game is a lot closer than I expected coming into it for sure. And I'm glad to see a good game, but the Ravens can't be happy with the way they've played this far. They've got to be pretty frustrated.
Yeah, and he's got no one but himself to blame. There hasn't been too much of the Madden glitchiness occurring and extra. It's been a little bit, but a lot of these reads and interceptions have been his fault. And how he managed the end of the first half there. So Lamar's back in the game. He's got a man. He's going to find him, Willie Snead, for the touchdown on the PA crossers.
Yeah, Meow, he's settling down with.
Y'all are drinking too much. He muted himself. Oh, Anthony. 28-16. Make it 29-16.
Hey, don't you come at me, Meow, right?
I knew what y'all were doing, bro. I was in the Navy. You know how it is? 2 a.m. playing the Meow game at your midnight brief.
I mean, Meow, what do you expect at this time of night, honestly?
All right. I think that's 4. I think that's the meow counter. 4.
Oh, no, we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point.
Okay.
You said meow or now?
Meow, if you want, we've got a whole nother quarter. I can continue.
This would be a good time to put in that if you're interested in playing in this league, if you've seen the travesty of play calling and you feel like you can do better, go to join.premiermadden.com. Jump on one of the open teams. We have a screen pass dialed up. He doesn't throw it.
Right now.
And now, right meow, Baker's hurt.
Nice.
Steps in is Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, see, this really bothers me when people try to put their bad reads on their quarterback. Putting in a lesser prospect is not going to make up for the fact that you've just been making poor reads. I mean, if anything, it's going to increase this situation.
Are you drunk? You didn't take him out. He got hurt.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Baker just got hurt.
Oh, I was laughing. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, Meow.
It wasn't. Quality. 3rd and 21. You're down 2 scores. Tyrod in the game. Looks like a pressure package coming here. Throws one up. Can Landry make a catch? Uh-oh.
That's what I would have said.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that was caught. It happens way too often.
We've seen it. I thought it was going to happen. Put it on the highlight reel, but instead we have a 4th and 21 punt by Cleveland. There's 11 minutes left in this game. Oh my God. Bounces out to the 7-yard line.
I'm hoping the Ravens can go ahead and get the running game going here and chew some clock a little bit.
I am. Yeah.
Right, meow.
Lamar Jackson in the game. He's going to throw this one away wisely as his crossing route was guarded well by the user.
Yeah, that's not how you're going to run the clock out, but it was a smart play nonetheless.
Smart play within the context of post snap. Okay. Within that context. So it might just be late, man. I wonder if the start time is playing a factor in some of these decisions. There's some really talented offenses in this league. The Rams look good with Todd Gurley. The Seahawks look good. That's a matchup that goes as there is a sack safety on Joe Flacco. That's going to put this to an 11-point game. And the Browns are going to get the football back.
Yeah, that's the thing you want to see happen.
Yeah, it comes out three straight passes, no clock taken off, and points and possession given up.
The game's still kind of in hand, but it's definitely
we're
open
talking
back
about
up.
11 points with 11 minutes left, all right? And he scored 13 unanswered with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. So,
but with Tyrod at quarterback, I'd be pretty surprised if the Browns could make this comeback here.
Big tackle there by Valentine. He goes bench against cover 3, which is suited to play that exact combo.
Yeah, bench used to be a good play, but I've kind of given up on it. Seems to be not nearly as effective as it used to be.
Right. Tyrod overthrows the open man down the right sideline to go 0 for 3 off the play action fake quick. I think you're starting to get to that point where people are starting to use Madden suggestions, and some of these plays are just getting really predictable. And that's what I noticed is both of these guys are being not really using their bread and butter plays that we kind of saw earlier in the game. The Ravens has kind of lost some of his patience. Then again, he did get sacked, so what can you do for patience if the pass rush gets through? As this game wears on, now we see 3rd and 11. We're back to that man coverage with Southward being the user. And this has worked earlier before for the Ravens. A T-pass. What is this game? Oh, Tyrod Taylor gets his first completions on the deep seam route. Ben Njoku. What is this game? Double coverage.
Real player motion.
Moss is his man. We are in the red zone, folks. Nice juke there by Carlos Hyde. 8-yard gain.
Hey, Carlos Hyde is probably the superior player for sure, but I just question whether or not your plans are short-term or long-term. I don't know if this Browns roster is quite playoff ready right now. I feel like I would definitely be giving these carries to what's his name? Bradley Chubb. Or not Bradley Chubb.
In the back of the end zone. This is going to be usured by C.J. Mosley. Bad decisions when he rolls out left. It's just, you got to have that internal clock. Okay, we're throwing slants with the 3-step drop. Once it's done, just throw it away, man. You're right there. You're in position. Just take your points and go. No need to force that there.
Yeah, you'd be better off just kicking the field goal on first down rather than throwing an interception at that point.
Well, it's been 10 minutes of in real life time, and we wasted a whopping 2 minutes off the game. Kenneth Dixon on the counter. This is what we want to see. More runs. Let's talk about some of the matchups we got going on. Looks like the Giants handled the Panthers pretty handily. You have a matchup this week. Who are you playing this week?
I may have already played it. It was against the Texans, and we played a game where, Madden may or may not have blessed the Texans quite often, and we lost by 3 points.
Mm-hmm. Now, you firmly ahead in your division, or are you battling out with the Giants?
Yeah, the Giants have recovered. Luckily, we've got that tiebreaker from our first game earlier on in the season, but I think he is also 3-2 at this time.
Gotcha. First down there off the mid attack for the Ravens. This is what we want to see. Run the football, and when you got to pass it, just a smart read. Attacking that cover 2, Tampa 2 zone where he has to play deep end low. So good read there by Flacco. $50 plays. I can't remember the last time I played a Madden game. 50 actual plays.
You haven't been exposed to this marathon Madden yet, but it's definitely pretty interesting.
I'm almost hoping the Xbox League doesn't launch, and I just commentate and do the podcast. At this point,
in this Texans game we were talking about, I actually did go down 17-0 pretty early on. So the fact that I made it a 3-point game in the second half is kind of what I was talking about, as far as you can get blown out early on. Maybe you don't go into a game super focused, but you've got plenty of time to still make a comeback.
Gotcha. Vertical concept finds the running back underneath, like you mentioned before. Seems to be pretty common. Just getting a nice clear route. And he is doing that with Alex Collins. I don't know if that's more of a just that's the guy who's in. Maybe it's they won't expect a pass with our running back, our running back out of the committee.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of overthinking it. Maybe not putting the best scheme fit for the plays that you're calling.
Right, but I think also there's a benefit to, okay, if I see Alex Collins, I'm thinking run. Well, then we get a clear out pass. So there's not too many running backs in the NFL that can't catch an underneath dump off. But I also know that he's limited in the he can run. We got Keith Marshall 4.2 speed on the toss left. This will go for a yard maybe.
Basically, too much speed on that play and overruns it, runs into his lineman, and falls short.
Pretty much Keith Marshall in real life. His career at Georgia was, let me take an A-gap run for 80 yards or nothing else. Wasn't really the best outside runner.
Right, you're the Georgia house specialist.
Something like that. Quick dump off there. Mid-attack, again, seems to be a pretty key play out of this I formation for this Ravens offense. It's its 3rd and 1. You get fancy here. We see Lamar come in on a read option.
I haven't had too much success with the read option. It's been sort of hit or miss thus far. But, I mean, why not? What's the worst that could happen? You chew a little bit more time off the clock at this point.
Did you just say what's the worst that could happen in a Madden game?
Well, that's true.
That can happen.
That is very true. But, I don't know. Read option, it doesn't seem to fumble too much unless you're, get lit up. But that's a pretty smart play there.
Smart play, once again, getting the right running back into the right play. Subs in CJ Procise. Gets the ball out to the receiving back.
Joe Flacco has missed on 6 passes thus far, and 4 of them have been intercepted.
Right.
Just throwing that out there.
I think he just had a bad little run there in the end of the first half, and now that things have kind of come out, kind of settled down, and they've gotten to run the football more. We've seen speaking of trickery, not that anybody was actually talking about trickery, I'm just tired. We're going to see CJ Procise run out of the monster formation. Get this one down.
I always assumed that formation was just frowned upon in the Madden community.
Having issues with the video stream on my end. Might be time to call it.
Well, that's on me. I mean, I guess if anybody watched this far, they are quite the soldier.
Bless them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this one's over. I'm going to get some sleep. You
Sounds
can catch
good.
me and Anthony on the Premier Madden podcast every night. at whatever time you load the fucking iTunes app.
Load it up, right meow.
Right, load it up right now. Right meow. Hold on, GT's sign. He's saying something. I don't even know. This video better have more than 10 views. Oh, he said, thanks, guys. Fun stuff. All right. This is Finn signing off.
This is Anthony signing off. Right meow.
Right meow.